So I know you mentioned there hasn't been a game, so far in conference play where you guys really jumped out to that lead here. I mean, you guys definitely did that today. I guess how are you guys feeling after?
Yeah, it feels good. Obviously got a good early goal, okay, but still kind of a frustrating half. What BC was doing was troubling us a little bit, okay, and giving us some problems in their shape and their pressure, and it was great for us. It was a great challenge, and to be honest, well, then we got the second goal, right? Great goal from the players from Zip, and OG did well to get it across the box. So now you go into halftime somewhat comfortable, yet you know that they were in our face a little bit and causing us problems. We were excited to have to play against that shape in the second half, and then they changed their shape, which honestly made it easier for us, right? And then kind of the opportunities, the chances, and the goals started to come. They switched back to that original first half shape, but still, I think it was tough at that point for them. And a good day. A good day. Like I just said to our group, it was somewhat close in the first half, but still nice. We were, and I just learned this stat last night when I was looking at Tim's release for the game. We were 7-6 in goals in the first half coming into today, 21-3 in the second half. So nice to get a couple goals in the first half and be clean on the other end, not giving anything up, and then obviously phenomenal to get 4 in the second half.
Just talking about this freshman class still, Peyton, the day that she had to, capitalizing on the opportunity, getting not just her first goal, but 2 goals in the game. Talk about the way she was able to, she got her time, she was able just to capitalize today.
Yeah, the kid can score. She's been doing that. I saw her play, even though she committed to Florida State and Mark Krikorian before I came here. I've started watching her when she was a freshman, and that's who Peyton is. She can smash a ball with both feet. She loves to score goals, and she was in a couple of good spots. She got a couple of good services and finished them. So delighted and happy for her.
One of the players today that, looked, she was really itching for a goal is Beata. The way that she, set you guys up to the opportunity she had. What position did she really put you guys in today, especially as you mentioned going up against that shape that Boston College put out there?
Yeah, Beata, we played her in a new role today as a winger, and she's been a 9 for a lot of her life, right? But I thought she was really good. It was one of her best games, right? Her football brain is off the charts, right? And she challenges us as coaches on a daily basis with her mind, right? And so I had no doubt that her movement and her spacing and her runs and her leadership were all going to be phenomenal. But then her passes, her crosses, all of it, right? I think she had 1 or 2 assists, something like that. But she could have had more. She obviously could have hit the underside of the crossbar, right? Great day for her. Happy for her. I hope she's pleased with her performance. She's tough on herself. She deserves to be pleased with her performance today.
You mentioned earlier this week, too, that this team can sometimes be hard on themselves, and it's just the intensity that they have.
Yeah.
This being the widest win that you guys have had all season, you don't want to settle, but is this a game that you guys are able to celebrate a little bit more being an ACC?
1,000%. I think it was almost like, a dam broke, right? A little bit. And the floodgates opened. We got a shutout. This was, last year at BC, first ACC game. Unfortunately, it took us to our 6th ACC game for the dam to break like that. And so I think everybody, it's one of those performance good games and feel good games, and we need it. We got a tough stretch here. Notre Dame, Pitt, Duke, NC State, good teams.
Speaking of that stretch as well, as you mentioned, BC, was giving you some problems early on. You were able to adjust the second half, really open things up. How does that really help you in a game that you kind of got a little bit of everything going into, Notre Dame and Duke coming up?
Hopefully it goes back to that question you asked. So hopefully it gives our team confidence, right, and realizing we're a good team. Right? We're okay, right? We can be good, right? We can compete for an ACC championship. We can compete for a national championship, right? We can say it all we want as coaches, but bottom line is the team needs to feel it. And I hope they leave today really feeling good about themselves and good about our group.
So, Coach, you talked about the problems that you kind of had in the first half with BC is what they're doing. Did that really lead to all the offsides that we saw?
No. Their pressure was giving us some problems. Their high line is a different thing, right? Mm-hmm. And their high line, I thought we were pretty good in the second half. We might have had just 1, maybe 2 offsides. Their high line, we hadn't really seen anything like that coming into this. We talked to our backs in our build-up about their line's going to be high. We can put balls behind them. But then we were in midfield, and we had so many players itching to go. You got to have patience. We got to either have, and we talked about this at halftime, you either got to have deeper runs, right, out of midfield, or you got to run across the back line and wait for your time to go. By and large, we have pretty fast players. We were just anxious, itchy. Sometimes, probably on a couple of occasions, players held on to the ball too long. But I thought we corrected ourselves pretty well. I remember Garcia had an offsides in the corner here, but I don't know if we had any others. So much more discipline in the second half. And that hasn't been a problem for us this season. We've had 2 or 3 per game. I thought it was a unique, we weren't expecting them to be that risky. And honestly, if a team wants to play that high like that, I love it. It just takes discipline on our end.
And so you talked a little bit about, moving Beata and everything. It seems like you're experimenting a little bit more with the versatility that you have on your roster, and also with a little bit more formations and shapes. Are we going to see that going forward?
I think so. I think we got to figure out, first of all, how are we best, right? What are we, this is all a puzzle, right? Who are the 10 players that need to be on the field for us when we start a game, 10 field players, right? In what spots, right? And then how are we going to bring players off the bench? And a large part of the coach's job is to put players in positions where they can be most successful, right? Both from a team defending standpoint, from a team attacking standpoint. I like to think after 3 straight games in the 4-4-2, our team is pretty comfortable. Obviously, today, we played a 4-3-3. Floodgates opened a little bit, right? If I were to go in the locker room right now and say, hey, ladies, we're about to play a game in 4 days. What do you want to do? I think they'd look at me like I'm the fool that I am. I think they're pretty comfortable in a 4-3-3. Yet at the same time, I do believe that, our midfield is pretty good in a 4-4-2, and the 2 up top that we run up top for a large bit are pretty good up top as well. So flexibility. And when we changed in the Carolina game, that was to deal with them.
Okay.
Right, they were playing a 3-6-1. They had 4 in the center of midfield. We wanted 4 midfielders against their 4 midfielders, and we wanted a front 2 against their back 3. That's what we had to do. So it'll be a combination of how are we best and what do we need to do to beat an opponent.